USTA Leadership Training Cohort Program. I am super excited to have you as part of this, and I know the entire LNLD committee and indeed USTA leadership, who has really bought into this, is excited to have you as well. So the purpose of this video is to just walk you through the nuts and bolts of how this next few months is going to work for you. So I'm just going to show you how to do that on the screen. So I'm going to open up a web browser. I like Google Chrome, but I believe it works with most. You can tell I'm a Washingtonian here by heart. But we are going to go to usta.com/LRC. Okay. Again, that's usta.com/LRC. So this is the Learning Resource Center. Over here on the right, you have volunteers. You want to click into that. You should already have a username and password from the volunteer orientation, so you'll enter that and then hit enter. If you have any issues there, just let us know. Okay. Here's the main page of the Learning Resource Center. So here you have the volunteer orientation stuff on the left. You probably don't see all these roles, but that's the volunteer orientation stuff. You have volunteer competencies information, which you may find useful as you progress through the cohort. And then on the right, we have training resources, including our leadership cohort. That's where we're going to go. So I click on that, and here's basically what the leadership cohort looks like. So the way this broadly works is we have broken it down into 4 major topics: leadership style, team building, creative problem solving, and results orientation. Within that, each week you will have some readings, a video to watch, kind of depending on the topic, maybe a little like assessment to do. You will complete that, and then usually at the end of the week there's some sort of reflection online discussion board that you will participate in along with members of your cohort. And then once we get through that entire topic, say intro to leadership style, there will be an assignment, a project type thing where you're asked to apply that learning to a specific USTA project. And we'll get to those details once we're there, but just to give you a little heads up. So let's talk about navigating this. So you see here you have different sections. We call these modules. It starts with introduction, okay? And you'll see little plus marks beside all of these. So we're going to plus mark open introduction. Okay. Within that we have 2 things to complete, and I should warn you, this may or may not be up by the time you log in here. Yeah, we are waiting on a video from Katrina, which we were hoping to have by now, but she's a little busy with this US Open thing. I don't understand, but we will have that soon. So we're just going to go to the next piece, which is just let's get to know each other. Okay, so you're going to click on that. It's going to open up a new window here. This is called a reflection. You'll hear me refer to it as a forum or a discussion. We'll use this a lot. Let me get my face out of the way there. Okay. Just a little sentence here. Let's get to know each other. Please proceed. And again, down at the bottom it says, your instructor has asked you to join this forum. You'll see that's hyperlinked. I'm going to click on it, and it opens up here. This first one is just an introduction, and I'm going to start these off with a message, and you will see it here, introduction, Eric Legg. I'm going to click on that. Okay, and then just some kind of questions to get us started and introduce ourselves to each other. So I have started it out here. You can read that and then reply. You can reply with your own introduction, hopefully at some point. You can reply with kind of a conversation to the person who just introduced themselves, and we want you to have these conversations. Okay, and we will use these a lot. A couple things to be aware of as you do these. So first of all, you don't want to just be logging in and checking, right? So you want to get notifications. I would think you would at least get notifications when someone posts. So we go up here to this notification. So I had it on already, so I just turned it off. But see where it says notify? I'm going to click notify. Okay, and it's going to notify me by email. Okay, and I can put the email in here. I believe it should just default to what you have in your login. But there you have it. Okay, and we'll have a nice conversation there. When you are done, you can use the back button, or you can follow the cookies here. So over here on the left. So another thing I want to show you at the reflection is you can just subscribe if you want to know every post someone makes. Again, get notifications with this little clock. Notify me, right? You can also, if you don't want to respond to my message there, you can start excuse me, a new thread by just clicking on the plus button there. Okay. Now to get all the way back to the LRC, again we can use the back button, but it sometimes gets a little confusing, so I recommend using the cookies over here on the left. And we're just going to go to the Learn Center. Okay. Go back into Introduction. Okay, we see we've completed that activity, so we can move on to Introduction to Personal Leadership Style. So for week 1, we're going to do the introduction and this Introduction to Personal Leadership Style. I'm going to click plus. I'm going to see there are 4 actions in there, and I just click through them. So Online Leadership Style Assessment. I click on that. Again, you get a little introductory text that tells you what to do, and then often a link to a document or a video or something online to read. In this case, the Leadership Style Assessment. I'm going to click on it. It's going to open in a new window. This particular one comes from a site called Mind Tools, which is a great site. It does cost to join. The stuff we're using is for the free part, but to really dive in, you're welcome to join. There's good stuff. So this is a little thing about your leadership skills and a little assessment. We're just going to ask you to take and interpret. And then when you're done, you're just going to return to the Cohort training program. At this point, you have up here at the top your directions. Once you've completed reading or downloading the document, click on the next button at the top of this page to return. So that's this button up here, and it processes for a second. Okay, so congratulations, you've completed this activity. Click on the stop button, which I do. Okay, and that takes me back here again. I can go back into leadership style. I've now completed the assessment, and now I can do the leadership motivation assessment. That's another reading and assessment. Then we have a lead like the great conductors. Okay, this is a TED Talk. So again, a little directions from us. You click on it, you watch it, then you can just X out or just return here. I click the arrow at the top. This is something that's a little confusing. It's not this arrow, it's actually the arrow at the top that marks it as complete, and then the stop button. It's not the most intuitive system in the world, but you'll get the hang of it. Once you get the hang of it, you won't think about it. Okay. And then the last activity in leadership style is a reflection. I mentioned you'll have these for most weeks, I think. Okay, and again, that's a little different, but it pops up here. It calls it objectives, but a little instruction, introductory material. Your instructors as you join this forum, reflection. It opens. This one's about leadership style, and you'll see I have posted something in here, some questions for you to answer. You will reply. Okay. Again, I recommend subscribing to the notifications on everything, but you'll reply with your answer. And we'd also ask that you go back in and have a conversation with your cohort members. And again, use the cookies I recommend to get back to the Learn Center over here. Okay. And that would have completed your first week. And if you try to keep moving ahead right now, there's nothing there. So we will be rolling that out as we go. You'll also be getting lots of emails from me, probably lots of little videos like this that kind of tell you where we are and update. You'll see me online in the discussions, the reflections. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But that's the nuts and bolts in it. So hopefully you are ready to dive in. So just jump right into that reflection forum, and then feel free to start tackling the readings as you see fit. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you online.